Alright, so it's been a few days after I received this book. It's just a book. Did you want to read it next? So awesome. This video is brought to you by all my Patreon supporters. Go Team Awesome! Yokoso peeps, it's Oz, and today I'm going to be doing a book review. Now before I show you the book and do a review on it, I wanted to just quickly tell you why I'm doing this. For those of you who don't know, in university I was an English major, and I've been reading books pretty much my entire life since university. I used to average about a novel a week. It's not as much anymore, but I'd still say I read about a novel a month. And since I'm in Japan, I know I should be reading novels by Japanese authors, but I usually stick to English authors just because I know the kind of books and what kind of topic I'm interested in. I have read a couple of books by Japanese authors. I've read Norwegian Wood and Never Let Me Go, but I haven't really delved into any kind of Japanese authors, especially not in Japanese because it's too high level for me, but even the Japanese authors that are available in English. But I was contacted by a company called Osusume Books, and they reached out to me and they asked me if I was interested in doing a review on their subscription service. So they're a company that offer books in English by Japanese authors, and they give you a monthly subscription, so you get one Japanese novel per month. You can choose the genre, and shipping is free worldwide, so anywhere in the world they'll ship it to you. They sent me a free book, yay! So I haven't opened this yet, so I don't know what book they sent me, so we'll figure that out soon. So I'll leave their website in the information section below. Also, if you type in the code OZZY10, you'll get 10% off. So I'm opening it right now. Maple, this isn't food. This time it's not a snack. It's a mental snack. Ooh, this book is called The Devotion of Suspect X. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like the cover right away. I wonder why. Anyway, this book is a Japanese thriller phenomenon. 2 million copies sold, okay. And it's by Keigo Higashino. Wow. It comes with a cute little Japanese bookmark. That's awesome. And it comes with a note. Let's see what my note says. Ooh. And it's handwritten too. Very personal. That's nice. A single mom's quiet life is shattered when her ex appears at her door one day and the investigation begins. But nothing quite makes sense for the detective. Higashino is one of the most popular mystery writers in Japan. Can't forget how speechless I felt after reading it. Sold. Alright. This is a really nice letter, first of all. So thank you. Whoever this is, awesome writing. Very good penmanship. Stay tuned for my book review after this message from my dog. Okay, you just want me to rub your ass? Alright. I think I read the entire book in 3 days. Before I tell you about a little bit of summary of this book and my review on it, I just wanted to say thank you to Osusume Books, which is the company that sent this to me. If you guys are interested in getting Japanese authored books sent to you, I think it's free delivery. I will leave the website in the information section below. Alright, so let's talk about this book. So the Japanese version of this book was actually published in 2005 in Japan, and it won a lot of mystery awards. It was also the biggest selling novel of that year in Japan. And there's also a movie based on this book as well. This English translation though didn't come out until 2012. And once again, it won a lot of mystery awards in English as well. The story starts off with a Japanese lady. Her name is Yasuko, and she's a single mother. Her daughter's name is Misato. They live in Tokyo in a small apartment. They're just making ends meet. Misato is in high school, and Yasuko is working at a bento shop. Yasuko used to be a hostess, but now she's kind of going straight and trying to make a normal life for her and her daughter. Unfortunately, that's when her ex-husband named Shinji shows up at her house unexpected. After they got divorced, he stops by sometimes because he's kind of like this shady guy, and he just tries to get money out of her. This time around, she's kind of tired of helping him out, so she kind of refuses to give him money. But then he says, if you don't meet me or if you don't see me, I'll just go look for your daughter Misato. And one thing, Misato is not his daughter, it's the daughter from a previous marriage. So Yasuko's had a lot of bad luck. After finding out where she lives and where she works, he finally comes to her house, and she kind of gives up and ends up giving him money. Unfortunately, Misato, her daughter, ends up attacking Shinji, and together the mother and daughter end up killing Shinji, the ex-husband. And mystery solved. The answer was it was the pair of them. Story done. Thanks guys. Peace. Just kidding, I'm back. So actually, The mystery was started and finished pretty much right in the beginning of the book. I think that's why I really like this book in the first place. You already know who the victim is and you already know who the murderer is. However, this book is more about how to get away with murder rather than finding out who did it. So that's where Yasuko's neighbor, a high school math teacher, I think his name was Ishigami, he ends up helping Yasuko and Misato dispose of and hide the body and also hide the crime and try to escape scot-free. And Ishigami is this like genius mathematician kind of guy. He's very like stone cold, very focused, very logical. So has a crush on Yasuko, but he creates this amazing strategy and plan to make sure that the police never suspect Yasuko of the murder, or Misato, the daughter, and he creates this whole elaborate scheme to ensure that Yasuko will never go to jail for the crime of killing her ex-husband. And that's where the rest of the book focuses on. There's 2 or 3 different stories going on. The main story is about Ishigami and how he goes about hiding the murder and keep making ways to kind of distract the police. Then the other story is the actual detective who's searching for the crime and trying to find out who the murderer is. Then the other story is about the detective. I think his name is Kusanagi, maybe. Detective Kusanagi is kind of in charge of the murder investigation. He's trying to find out who killed the body, who killed the Shinji, and his main suspect is Yasuko, and he's trying to figure out how she got away with it. But then there's also a different story where there's this other guy named Yukawa, maybe, and he's a old friend of Ishigami, the math teacher. They used to go to university together, and they're both kind of like elite, like genius people, and Ishigami was the mathematician, where Yukawa, I think, was a scientist. And it's kind of like brain versus brain. It's like Einstein versus Newton. And I really liked that there was a whole bunch of different relationships going on. So it was kind of not just like Ishigami trying to get away with murder. It was like side stories of him and his good time with his scientific friend. But then the detective is also friends with the scientist guy, the Yukawa guy. So it's his relationship. And then there's also Yasuko, her relationship with her daughter. And then Yasuko's relationship with her other friends from her hostess job that are kind of connected as well. So there's a lot of different connecting characters and storylines going on that made it really fun. It was like detective versus scientist versus mathematician versus ex-hostess, filled with like drama and deceit. And I don't want to spoil the end for you, but it was definitely a twist. It's on the level of like Usual Suspects or The Sixth Sense. But I was surprised at how simple the twist was and how obvious it was. It was like literally in your face the whole time, and one little small detail, if you know that detail, then you're like, oh yeah, that's obvious. But it was so well hidden and so well covered, and I thought it was just really awesome how when the twist came about, you were like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And I think one of the main reasons why I like this book, besides the twist ending, was just the setting. I live in Japan, I've lived in Japan for so long, and this book is written by a Japanese person and it's set in Tokyo. So a lot of the places they talk about, especially in the Sumidagawa area, the Sumida River area, was so like familiar to me, so I felt like so like connected to the book. And I could also feel like the conversation between the Japanese people was very Japanese style. So I noticed that right away. Even though I was reading the translated version, the conversations they had in English that were supposed to be in Japanese felt very Japanese to me. For example, a lot of the time when the professor and the mathematician are talking, or when the detective is talking to somebody, the politeness and the Japanese way of kind of like surface conversation and not being very direct came about very obviously. Even like the banter that happens between the mother and daughter, or between Ishigami and Yasuko, it's very Japanese style. I could feel like the Japanese culture coming out in the conversation. And one thing that I liked, hated at first but I liked at the end, was that when I was reading it, it felt very logical. It was a murder of an ex-husband, and the husband was a bad kind of wife beater kind of husband, and Yasuko had such a terrible life with divorces and all this stuff. She was an ex-hostess, and there was so much sadness. The daughter was like kind of going mental, and kind of acting out, and kind of because she couldn't take the hiding of the murder, and there's so many weird emotional things that were going on, but I didn't feel any like emotion at all in the book. It's very cold, very logical until the end. And then when I was at the end part, where I'm not going to tell you what happens, but when there's that final scene, I was like, wow. Actually, it hit me really hard because I wasn't feeling that emotion through the whole book, and it was trying, I think it did it on purpose. It was trying to be very cold and logical, just like the mathematician guy. But then at the end, it was like breaks down into emotion, and I was like, oh, I could feel it like in my heart. And I didn't cry, of course, because I'm a man, but I did get a little steamy-eyed. Overall, I think I'm going to give this book a 9 out of 10 because it was interesting and actually a really fast read. It's a long book, but it goes really quick, and it's very smart in detail and like the procedure of going about hiding this murder. I think the characters were all interesting, the story flowed very well, and it was just an overall good read. I think the only reason why I didn't give it a 10 was, once again, because of the dialogue, but I think it was supposed to be like that. I wish I could have got to know a lot more about each character. There was very little character development between all the characters. Like, I knew a little bit of their history, but not how they felt or what made them what they were, personality-wise. For example, when Misato is the first person to attack the ex-husband Shinji rather than Yasuko, of course she's angry because he came to bother her mom or whatever, but she must have been really angry if she wanted to like try to kill him. So I didn't know what pushed her over the edge. There's not a lot of information about the relationship between Shinji and the daughter so much. What happened? Was there some kind of like sexual abuse or some kind of domestic violence or something? There's not any really history given between the three people, the mother, the daughter, and then the ex-husband. So it was kind of like hard to kind of feel for Misato or understand why she did what she did. So I guess it just didn't really go into as much depth in the characters as I wanted. Anyway, that's my review on The Devotion of Suspect X. Also, I learned that this is the third novel in a series of the detective and scientist in the characters in here. They have 3 books where they solve different murders. So I didn't know it was part like of a 3-series book. But you don't need to know the other 2 to enjoy this book. But now I'm kind of curious, and I'm gonna see if I can find the English versions of the other 2 previous books so I can read those as well. So once again, thank you Osusume Books for sending this to me. I enjoyed reading it, and if you want to send me any more books to review, I would definitely be down with that. Hint, hint. I definitely recommend, if you are into Japanese culture, but you can't read Japanese, but you would like to read Japanese literature and Japanese authors, this is a good way to do it. Anyway, have you guys read this book? If so, what did you think? Also, do you recommend any other Japanese authors that I should read? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe, hit the bell notifications so you'll never miss any of my videos, because my videos are awesome. OzzyAwesome. Take care and see you next time. Peace. Maple, I want to film my video. Can you go to bed? Bed. 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 Sleep. Sleep, sleep. Okay, go, go, go. Babe, I need to film my video. Go over there. We'll play later, okay? Alright. Are you happy? Good? Now can I please film my video, please? Okay? Good? Good? Okay, go bed, bed. Maple, bed. Bed, bed. Go bed, go bed. Good boy. Stay. Good boy. Alright. Good job. Now can I please film? Can I please finish filming? Alright, I'll be back, guys.